Welcome inside room 442. It's Albert Vartanian here, and it's a full house. Michael Singh, Stara Pararia, and James Sharman next to me. It's the World Cup prediction show, just 2 days away from the beginning of the World Cup. It's crazy. We've been talking about this for so long, and it's finally here. So we're going to run through winners, golden boot, dark horse, and hot takes, as well as some negativity, as if there's not enough negativity surrounding this World Cup. We're going to bring some more in the second segment. But let's start with Michael Singh, your winner at the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah, so I've been watching the Netflix documentary on FIFA about all the scandals and corruption, and it's got me thinking.
Qatar's gonna win.
Not Qatar, but that would just be too obvious. But then again, they've gotten away with a lot already, so maybe. But Messi or Ronaldo have to end their career with a World Cup. One of the two has to go out on top. You can't go their entire careers of arguably the greatest footballers ever and not have them win a World Cup. So I'm actually not going to say Argentina. I'm going to say Portugal are going to be my champions, my winners for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. I just think their squad right now is very underappreciated, and I think it's one of the best Portugal squads ever. So if they can get clicking and maybe just zone out the Ronaldo noise a little bit, I think they can go on a run.
It's a lot of noise to zone out. Sarah, your winner, I feel like, might be the complete opposite to that, man.
It's gonna be these guys right here.
Argentina.
Yeah, it's you know what? I think I like what you're saying, but I just think Portugal right now, the Ronaldo drama isn't helping, but I think Argentina's a little bit more of a cohesive side, and they've been on this tear that they've been playing so well. They have so much confidence behind them, and they have the best player in the world.
Yeah.
So, it has to be Argentina for me.
Yeah, Argentina, one of the favorites. The consensus, James, is Argentina or Brazil.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Yeah, it is, I think in fairness though, one of the most wide open World Cups we've seen for a long time, right? You've got so many teams that could either crash in the first round or they could win it. So it's tough, but I'm with Sarah. I'm going Argentina. I think that Messi's playing with this newfound freedom. He's smiling, he's enjoying himself once again. Plus for his country, he's got Copa America, that monkey off his back, right? They've won as a team already. They've got a coach that gets them. I think this is Argentina's year. I really do. And if not them, I think it can stay in South America.
Yeah.
But yeah, Messi, and just the thought of seeing Leo Messi with that trophy.
Oh my God,
I'm such a Messi fanboy. I always have
crying.
been. I mean, it'd be incredible. And this is an Englishman talking about Argentina. All right, so it's just so it tells you.
Go ahead.
Do you think the Ronaldo interview is actually a good thing for Messi? Because now the spotlight's all on Ronaldo, and maybe it takes a little bit of pressure off Messi a little bit. Or am I reaching there?
I don't think it takes pressure off Messi. I think he's got the pressure of the world regardless on his shoulders. I think it puts maybe more pressure on Ronaldo in many ways, because you better perform now. You said that you're feeling great, you're ready for a great World Cup, and you're so self-indulgent. It's all about you. You better dominate the World Cup now, son, because otherwise, your legacy might be a bit tarnished.
A lot of people can't imagine not seeing Messi or Ronaldo raise the World Cup some point in their lifetime, being the two of the best players of all time. And it's not going to happen because Denmark's going to win the World Cup.
Oh my goodness.
I've been on Argentina for so long, but my dark horse, and James makes a good point, they're not really a dark horse because they're touted to make deep runs in every World Cup and every Euro. I like them so much. When I look at teams who can go all the way, it has to come with like a togetherness, a chemistry, and they have all those things. Plus, they have really good players there. The only real weakness is not really an out and out number 9, but they score by committee. So anyway, Denmark is my winner to go through the
You
whole
should
way.
have saved that for your hot take.
No, but that's not. I got a good hot take. Golden Boot. Let's start with James.
Golden Boot, and again, staying in the family with Argentina. I'm going with Messi. I know it's boring again, Messi.
But it's not boring, because think about this all lines up for the perfect send-off for one of the best players ever.
Well, the odds are, I think, plus 1,200. I think
Pretty
for Messi.
good.
Yeah, he doesn't have the
Pretty
best
good.
odds, which is surprising.
Exactly. And if they're going to win, which I think they're going to win, he's going to carry them, I think, and he's going to score the goals. He's got some nice parts around him. I know that. Be it Julian Alvarez or Martinez, of course. Yeah, they've got some good players. Obviously, they might spread the wealth too, but I think it's going to be a Leo Messi getting not just the World Cup, but those other little trophies on the periphery as well.
Sarah?
Make it 2. Me and James today.
Messi?
Completely. Yeah, I told you last time, he scores all the goals for Argentina, whether it's, a goal, a free kick, a penalty. This is the guy that is going to do everything for them. And I really don't think Lautaro Martinez is going to get as much playing time as you think.
Mikey.
For me, it's Harry Kane. Harry Kane is going to be winning the Golden Boot this year. And the reason being is if England are going to score, it's going to be through Harry Kane. He is their number 9. He is their goal scorer. And if you look behind Harry Kane, there's no one really behind him that's pressuring him to take that number 9 role. So I think England are poised to make a deep run in this tournament, and the way that they score goals will be through Harry Kane. So he's my Golden Boot winner.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
good
mind
show, one of
seeing
the
him.
favorites.
I wouldn't mind seeing him host the trophy. Either,
Yeah, I'm
just for the
sure.
record.
That'd be all right.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
I'm sticking with Argentina, but I'm going with Lautaro Martinez. Even though Sarah thinks he won't play, he's going to play. Messi, definitely fantastic show for the Golden Boot, but I think Messi's now turned more facilitator. He doesn't feel that pressure that he needs to score the goals with goal scorers around him. And someone's going to have to finish these chances that Messi sets up, and it's going to be Lautaro Martinez. Just my opinion.
Sorry, really quickly, can I just say no one said Mbappe? Was that crazy?
Yeah, amazing.
I don't see
France
France
has
getting past
question
the round of
marks.
16.
France
Okay,
has
okay,
question
okay.
They
marks.
got question marks. Okay, quickly. Dark horse, Mikey.
Dark horse would be, for me, people might not like this, people might like it, the United States. The USA are my
Crazy.
dark horse in this tournament. You know, they can go either way here. They can either bow out in the group stage. Group B is, for me, pretty wide open. Or they can go on a run and they can string together some magic. Look, the US have a lot of, individually, they have players playing all over the world now. Most of their players actually come from Europe. So if they can find a way to piece it together and click at the right time, I think they can potentially go on a run.
That horse is like dark, man.
Like
yeah.
really
Pitch black.
dark. Yeah.
The black hole.
You can't even see the horse.
No. Where's that?
Sarah.
Sorry, okay, what's considered a dark horse? Like, can I consider Netherlands a dark horse? Because
Sure,
there's
but
some-
it's a
Yeah, it's a
cop-out.
weird
It's a
one, right?
cop-out,
Yeah.
though.
it's well because they're like I said this I think on the other show
Yeah.
whenever it was that their road is a lot easier in quotations. If they go through first, they're gonna play the likes of maybe a Wales, Iran, or USA probably.
Yeah.
Group B. Like it's just an easier
Well,
route.
I would just say this: a dark horse to me is not one of the favorites, and they're not one of the favorites.
Yeah,
No
they're-
way.
Yeah, I think they just have a good road to get to a quarter quite easier than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've proven it. They can go deep in
Yeah.
tournament football.
So that horse is like a speckled grey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too
It's-
dark, but
I hope they don't.
You can
but
see it in the
yeah,
distance,
it is
at
a
least.
horse.
Charms?
Just like off-white.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we know the horse is there, right? We're somewhere.
Can it
there, but-
run?
Yeah, that's a question. I was all about Senegal before, right? Had been for a while, but then Mane was out. I still think Senegal will be decent without him, but so I've turned my attention now to Serbia. I think Serbia is a really good team. They need to make that next step on the world stage. You got Mitrovic, you got Ivanovic. These are good players. If they can find a way to get those guys on the field at the same time, and a good qualifying campaign, maybe this is a moment now for Serbia.
Yeah, and they might meet Portugal in round of 16, a team that they beat twice heading into the World
Oh,
Cup. That's
that's
my
us.
dark horse as
That's
well.
my World Cup
is Serbia,
winner,
so I
so-
just gave it the kiss of death. I'm sorry.
That's
Serbia
all right.
haven't done anything. And quickly, the last one I got here, once my computer cooperates. Hot take. Your hottest take, Mikey. What do you got?
Ooh, that's a
Could be anything.
That's a good one, and I know I've put a lot of thought into this.
Here we go.
Canada are going to be getting out of the group stage at this World Cup. You know, this is a team that last played in a World Cup 1986. Haven't even scored a goal at a World Cup ever. They're, in my opinion, one of the toughest groups with Belgium, Croatia, Morocco. They're the underdogs in that group. But I say that this Canadian men's national team do find a way to get out of the group stage here in the World Cup.
Yeah, that means one of the big dogs got to go early, which is huge. Sarah.
France will not get out of the round of 16.
Oh, yeah. Well, they might
Yeah.
meet Argentina, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We've talked about how France just kind of look a little wobbly. They have a ton of injuries as well, but there's something about this team that we just haven't trusted, and I still don't trust them. I think they'll get out of their group. To be fair, it's one of the easier ones, but I think we're going to see them leave the tournament much earlier than most people expect.
Reigning champs, right?
Charms?
Man, this is tough. Hot take. So hot take can be not necessarily thing that you think will happen, but
Yeah.
it could happen,
Could
right?
happen.
Because I said Argentina are going to win the World Cup, right? But how about this for hot take, that this year's world champion will be a team that wins it for the very first time,
Okay.
right?
Canada?
Maybe Canada.
Maybe
Maybe
Canada.
Canada. But I'm thinking maybe a Denmark, possibly. Maybe, who knows? Uruguay, the more you talk about Uruguay, the more I think, man, they're a fun team.
Yeah.
They're a decent team. Go on a run. You know, you got the old generation, you got the new generation mixing, you know. So maybe this is a year that a brand new team just emerges. And I think we need a new team to win it at some point, right?
Have England won the World Cup?
Not in my memory.
That's a
Yeah.
coincidence.
Does that count if they win? As a new team?
They could win. They have a really good team.
1966 is a long time ago.
My hot take is the complete opposite to what Mikey said earlier. I'm going to go USA to not score a single goal at the World Cup They're in a difficult group. England, Wales, Iran. All three of those teams are very good defensively, and I think USA is going to struggle. Plus, there's a lot of negativity around them,
There is.
specifically around Mr. Greg Berhalter, which we'll get into in the next segment. We're way over time in this first segment, so stay tuned. We're going to talk about some more negativity surrounding the World Cup,
negativity.
but a different
Negativity.
spin.
Love
So
negativity.
stay tuned. Welcome back to Room 442. So the predictions, the official predictions are in, but who cares about the best team, golden ball, golden boot? Let's go the complete opposite way. Let's talk about the worst players and the worst teams. Mikey, who do you think will be the worst team at this World Cup?
For me, there's a lot of contenders, but for me, I'm gonna say Costa Rica. Having watched this team throughout CONCACAF World Cup qualifying, they were scraping by the skin of their teeth. Like, they were not a very good team, in my opinion. I think they are getting older and older and older, and I do believe that they're probably going to be the worst team at this World Cup.
Yeah, they did beat Canada.
I was
Let's not
gonna say
forget
that's
that, right?
why-
Let's not
that's
forget
why
that,
it's
Mikey.
It was a red card, Mark
Yes.
Anthony
They still
Stay.
beat them.
It was an early red.
And
Sarah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Saudi Arabia, for sure. They are painful to watch. They get blown out nearly every time they go up against a somewhat decent side. And look at their group. We're talking Argentina, Mexico, and Poland. I could see them not only not scoring a goal against any of these teams, but having a goal differential that is like negative plus upwards of 10. I am really thinking it's going to be bad news for them.
That's a group of death for Saudi Arabia. James?
It's a bit hot takey, right? But I'm going for the hosts, Qatar, right? You rarely see the hosts really be awful, right? But and it's not a bad group for them, but they're not a good team. They were awful against Canada. I know they had a decent Gold Cup. They obviously had the Asian Cup. We know that, but I'm not impressed. And just how Qatar got the World Cup, I think it would be fitting for them to be the worst team at the World Cup as well.
Yeah, they can make some noise. You never know with what's going on over there, but who knows? I'm going to go with Australia. Their best player is in goal, and Matt Ryan, who plays for FC Copenhagen. Their second best player is Aaron Moy, who plays for Celtic, who's been one of Celtic's worst players this season. There's nothing good about Australia. They're in a tough group. I think they're the worst team. Sarah, I'll start with you on this one. Biggest disappointment player?
There are so many, but I think I'm going to go with Christian Pulisic.
Oh,
that's
I like that.
USA, because I don't think the USA are going to get out of their group. But I think there's a lot of pressure on him because he's kind of, the poster boy for that team, plays at Chelsea, hasn't really been doing well there. I don't think he's going to do a whole lot for the USA. And with all the pressure that's on his shoulders, it is going to come crumbling down.
He's overrated.
Mikey?
I agree with you. For me, it's going to be Cristiano Ronaldo. Is going to be the biggest. Biggest disappointment at this World Cup. Like, this is a guy that I've watched every single match. He's taken the pitch this year for Manchester United, and we know when people think about Cristiano Ronaldo, the standard that they set. He's fallen below that standard every single time he has taken the pitch this year. And I do believe, hey, listen, age catches up to everybody. I do believe it's finally caught up to him, and with the pressure he's put on himself, I think he'll be the biggest disappointment.
I would love
of
to know
World
the consensus, like around the world expectation for Cristiano Ronaldo heading to this World Cup. Is it high? I'm not sure. I mean, this is, we can reserve this for another show.
Yeah. If you watch football, it shouldn't be that high.
No,
So
at the
I
moment it
love that
should.
pick.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, who won the Ballon d'Or this year?
Karim Benzema.
Karim Benzema. I'm saying Karim Benzema.
that
He's
is a
barely
big
played in recent months. He's on a French team that has the potential to implode. He's got a guy playing to his left, probably, who wants to play in the middle, and they might have a little bit of issue there. And that guy wants to play with Giroud as well. Listen, Karim Benzema is wonderful as a footballer. This will not be his World Cup.
I'm going to go with Alphonso Davies. Mikey! Michael!
You dared to criticize the Ronaldo?
I know. You can't criticize Ronaldo, not in here. Alphonso Davies, listen, I want Canada to do well, but I think if there's pressure on one player's shoulders, it's Alphonso Davies because he's so much better than the rest of his team. And I think Canada, a lot of those players are going to be overwhelmed. They're really going to be overwhelmed by the moment, and they're going to have to lean on Davies, who's not going to be able to execute. I'm sorry, Canada fans. I want Canada
I'm
to
clipping
win.
that and posting it on my social just so everyone.
Come on, man.
It's speculation. It's all speculation. And It's
Yeah.
a negative block.
Exactly.
And man, we are being negative.
And I'm usually the kiss of death, so the opposite usually happens. So he's probably going to turn up. Okay,
This mug
finally,
is half empty right now.
this is one that James came up with, which I love. So James, I'll go to you first. Coach to be sacked
Oh.
mid-tournament,
Okay.
which never happens, by the way. But it could.
It's got a bit of a connection to Ronaldo here, so it's going to be Coach Santos.
Oh,
Sanch. Yeah, he's going to be the one because it could all go wrong, right?
could.
And he might bench Ronaldo to start the tournament, in which case Ronaldo might then fire him. Right? And then he's gone, Ronaldo takes over on the sidelines and, of course, starting up front.
Yeah.
Boom, there you go.
Done.
Yeah.
Put on Sanch to get sacked, Sarah.
Yeah.
Didier Deschamps.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice
I like that, actually.
Yeah, if France don't, show up after winning, and especially the team that they have to make a run. But something's going on there, and if they crumble, maybe we see the big man himself gets sent out.
Michael?
I like it. For me, Tata Martino is the guy. This guy has been on the hot seat for years. And Mexico recently, we know their qualifying was really underwhelming. Listen, there's a lot of pressure on Mexico to come out and perform. And if they don't, and in a tough group there, if they don't get out of the group stage, he's gone. So for me, they lose to Saudi Arabia, he's gone
It's a wrap.
mid-tournament.
I'm going to stick with CONCACAF. I'm going to go Greg Berhalter. A lot of negativity around him and the USA, and it kind of goes hand in hand with my hot take that USA won't score a single goal. I think Berhalter's gone, but probably not going to happen. But we'll see. All right.
It's never happened before, right?
It's never happened. Maybe it has. Way back when, before the
I'm
internet.
sure it must have.
Before
the
Twitter.
internet.
Before Twitter.
Lopetegui
Before
quit just before the World Cup.
I don't want to talk about it.
I want to see one of these coaches walk out like mid-game.
Be amazing.
That might be
Enough of
pronounced sunshine. It's like, oh, you threw this. All right, one more segment to go. We're going to be talking Canada and who we think is going to be some of their best players. Welcome back to Room 442. Mikey, Sarah, and James Sharman with me. We've talked about our winners. We've talked about some losers. Time to talk about Canada. This segment is all dedicated to Canada. And I want to start with a big question, James. The biggest question of all. Now the shoulder. Will Canada score a goal at this World
Of
Cup?
course they will. You kidding me? You seen the defenses they're up against? These are not quick, mobile defenses. And Canada's skill, we know that it's all about pressing forward with the pace. We've got John David, who's emerging as maybe close to being a world-class striker. You have off the bench Carl Laren, Junior Hoylett, Tasia Buchanan. They have attack. They're going to score not just a goal. They're going to score some goals in this World Cup. Maybe not a handful. Maybe 3.
Over under
fine with
2.5
that.
goals.
Well, more than a couple.
More than a couple.
But less than a handful.
Okay.
3.
Ferraria? Uh-oh.
No, you know what? I think they'll score maybe 1 because they have the ability to score, and whether it's, the nastiest, dirtiest goal you've ever seen where a tap in, half of them are rolling in, it's going to be a goal. I really wasn't sure if they were going to, but just seeing the Japan game, I think as well, I think they can score, but I'm not going to go with more than 1. We'll keep it at 1 for now.
Yeah, baby
Michael.
steps, baby steps.
Yeah.
But listen, this is not 1986 anymore, all right? This is a golden generation for Canadian talent.
Tell him, Mikey.
You have some of the best players in the world right now, in Alphonso Davies at least, playing for
good
Canada.
one.
We have some of the best attackers. Stefan Estak is a guy who can completely change the game in the midfield. This is a team that is... I've said it before. If you look at their attacks, I would say they're within the top 10 attacks in all of this World Cup. So I'm saying, yeah, Canada's going to score not just 1. I'm going to say they're score more than 1 goal.
Surprised Sarah with that one.
Yeah, I don't know about
Let's
that.
talk about Canada and within that camp, who will win the Golden Boot? Because if they're going to score a couple of goals, it's got to come from somewhere, right? So if I'm throwing back to you, the number 9?
Jonathan David is the easy pick, right? But I'll go hipster here because I'll leave it to you guys.
Here we
I
go.
think I know where you're going.
I know where you're going,
Actually,
too.
yeah, you might.
I'm going Kyle Laren.
Oh,
Okay. That's
No one
not
thought
too
of
bad.
it.
I said that last
But,
week on the show.
Everyone's saying Kyle Laren's not going to start.
you're not worried
right?
about how much
I'm one
time
of
you'll
those
actually see
people.
on the pitch?
Yeah, I am worried about that, absolutely. But for whatever reason, when Kyle Laren puts on that Canada shirt, we've said it time and time again, he evolves into a prolific goal scorer. He was Canada's leading scorer throughout this whole qualifying campaign, Canada's all-time leading scorer, and I think he'll just continue to go. And he's come out and said that we're going to see a Kyle Laren that we've never seen before. So let's see it. Let's prove it. Kyle Laren, top goal scorer for Canada.
Sarah, you share the same Kyle Laren love?
Yeah, I didn't even think you were going to say that. I said this, I think it was in a show last week that, yeah, exactly what Mikey said. Whenever he puts on the Canada jersey, he performs. And even if he comes on, in the last 20 minutes of the game, he's the one to score those last-minute bangers. And I think it could be him to score the 1 goal for Canada.
Well, he hasn't performed that well in recent games, Sharms.
Yeah,
Are
he's
you with
decent
Laren or
goals.
no?
No, you want hipster? I'll give you hipster.
Here we go.
All right. How about this? So I mentioned the pace up front. We know that, right? They're going to win some set pieces, right?
Stephen
Be it from
Victoria.
I thought about Victoria. I'm going for Kamal Miller.
I love this
Okay.
pick.
Yeah,
by the way.
Kamal Miller.
Okay.
Kamal
Wow.
Miller is my guy. It might just be a couple of goals as a golden boot. They're going to score 4, right?
Yeah.
So Kamal Miller with a couple
Wait,
from
4
set
now?
pieces.
I thought it was 3.
Was it 3 before?
I like it. No,
3 or
keep
4.
going.
We'll go with 4. 5 goals. They're going to score. And Kamal Miller will score 3 of them. No, Kamal Miller from set pieces. Almost 40% of goals at World Cups come from set pieces. Kamal Miller's my man.
I like that. But guys, it's Jonathan David. I'm going with Jonathan David. The goals have to come from somewhere. They've been coming from him and Larin. But what I saw in that Japan friendly, he raised his level. And if that's the level he's going to continue to do at the World Cup, the goals are going to come, right? He has facilitators around him. So I'm going JD. Let's talk about the Golden Ball. So essentially the MVP for Canada. Sharms, I'll start with you.
Estacio.
Yeah.
He's gonna boss it. He's gonna control it. People that don't know who he is are gonna know who he is at the end of this World Cup.
Yeah, there's not even a question in my mind. He's so important for Porto. He's been playing Champions League football. We're talking middle point pivot. That position in general is usually such a crucial point for, football in general. But the fact that he's playing it and he's just been playing so well and so consistently, as opposed to some of these other players who've had time off and stuff, that's going to come into play so much. And he's just on fuego right now.
He'll be over the dead ball too with set pieces. We saw Hoylett in that friendly against Japan, but it'll probably be Estacio. He can rack up the assists really if
He
there's
could
more
get
from
3
set
assists
pieces.
on Kamal Miller's goals.
No, and we saw what this Canada team looks like without Estacio against Japan, right? He was a massive loss for this team, but he is a little bit banged up heading into this first game, at least against Belgium. But you're being hipster again. It's Alphonso Davies. There's no question about it. Like Stefan
There's one question
Estacio.
according to this guy.
Stefan Estacio is unbelievable. He could arguably Canada's most important player just because of the depth that they have. But Alphonso Davies is far and away Canada's best player, and he will be their best player at this tournament.
I'm going to go with them. I'm going to say Estacio as well, but you guys already mentioned all the points, and also because he's got that Portuguese blood in him, he's got a little bit extra. We're getting wrapped up here, but quickly, would any of you, I'll start with Sharms, let Lucas Cavallini take a penalty in the round of 16 if Canada go that far?
I think I would actually. I wouldn't let him do a Panenka, perhaps, but he's got the balls to do that, the courage. Absolutely.
The fact
Give him a
that-
chance.
but-
Yeah.
No,
And Sarah's like,
Ben,
no way, no
And
way.
he can put his foot through a ball.
If
And that's what
that
you'd see.
ball didn't go in, I know it's the
But it
theory,
did.
but it did. But if it didn't, the next time he does, no way, he's not coming. The attitude, no.
The audacity.
If my uncle had it'd be my aunt.
All right, well,
That
that's
is,
why Canada's
that
not
is
going
fantastic, by the way. What a Sharms. Thank you very much for that. I've heard if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bicycle, but that,
Okay, that works.
that one's pretty good. That's it for the show. We'll be back on Monday, and throughout this tournament on Room 442, we'll be previewing and recapping every single match. So please stay tuned for that and enjoy the show.